What's up, you guys? I wanted to do a kind of like a follow-up review and just overall review of this CyberPowerPC that I bought. I bought it roughly 2 weeks ago now. I've pretty much done everything that I want to do on it so far, so I'd say I have a pretty good, I guess, unbiased review and opinion of the whole setup as is, and things I would want to change or upgrade, or the weak points and strong points of it. So I just wanted to go ahead and make that video today. So this one was at Best Buy for $1349.99, and I went and picked it up during this coronavirus stuff. They're just doing like a pickup only, curbside. They literally put it right in your car and you drive off. It's pretty cool. At the same time I bought it, I actually bought some Corsair Ram to go with it, 16 additional gigabytes, same speed and all that. So that is working just fine with the stock RAM that it does come with. In the case, it matches decently. It's definitely different, but it's not really noticeable unless you're actually looking. If you're going for looks, obviously that's kind of a big deal, so I did want to mention that. It does look different, but it's better than spending another like $800 on the next model up that came with some more RAM and a slightly better CPU and stuff. So this one is a pretty solid all-in-one / pre-built, whatever you want to call it. It's got the water-cooled CPU cooler. It's a single radiator. I call it a single, like just big enough for a single fan. The double ones are obviously big enough for like two fans side by side. So these fans in this case are all 120 millimeter, and there are 4 fans. They all match. They're the same side, same size, same type, etc. I cannot actually find these to buy additional fans, which kind of bummed me out. I found really similar ones on Amazon, but I cannot find these exact ones. So I really think that CyberPowerPC just buys these fans, or the company buys these fans and then they just slap their own label on them, because there's a lot of similarities between these and some of the ones on Amazon, but they weren't exactly the same. So I have some plans for this computer, so I actually just ordered a whole new set to start off with and actually get rid of these. These work perfect. Let me kind of backtrack a little bit. There is no issue with these fans. They work wonderfully. Gaming on extreme, as high graphic settings as the game allows, my temperatures show right around 75 degrees Celsius at the hottest, which to me, I would like it to be a little bit cooler, but right out of the box, I am totally satisfied with it. That is okay. It doesn't get hotter. Like, I'll play for sometimes 3-4 hours straight. So, if it was going to get hotter, it would have definitely done it by then. I haven't done any video editing yet. That's one of the few things I haven't done, but I really didn't buy it for that. I bought it for gaming mostly because I have a iMac on my same desk and I use that for all my video stuff. So in the video right here, I'm kind of just going through the different light cycles. There's solid colors, there's the color flow, there's different kind of modes of the color flow. You can make it like breathe like this, where every time it like pulses on, it's a different color. Solid colors, obviously, if I didn't say that. And of course, you can turn them all off. The graphics card, that little strip where it says GeForce RTX, that is just like one solid strip. Like, it's not hooked to anything. It's just on with the computer and off with the computer. But it still does look good. It is an RGB strip, although the lights don't move, if that makes sense. Like, the top of that strip is like a pink, and then it goes into purple and greenish, so it's like the color spectrum, but it's not moving like the fans. One thing about these fans, though, that is different from a lot of the other RGB stuff is that these are very blunt in the colors, like the way the color changes. It's not like a smooth flow. It's like a red, green, yellow, blue, and you'll notice that if, obviously if you're watching the video, you'll see it. Each LED is like really individually bright, and just kind of like, I'm not really sure the word I'm looking for, to be honest with you, but hopefully you guys know what I'm saying. Like a lot of the color flow stuff, like it's just a smooth transition like an RGB keyboard, like, you know, just kind of flows. Whereas these, it's a really harsh transition into each color, which you can see right here. It still looks really good though. I don't want to, you know, say that's a con or downfall. It's just the style of RGB that they went with, the addressable RGB. One thing I was bummed about though is that this motherboard is actually not as bad as what I was reading online. It has the RGB Fusion app that you can download on your desktop or phone even. You're supposed to, I haven't got it set up yet, but supposedly you can control it from your phone. All these fans are actually powered by a standalone module on the back side where the cable management is. And you'll see that coming up. I show all that stuff, but these fans are not PWM. So basically from what I'm seeing, it's just pretty much on and off fan speed wise. They are adjustable, but it doesn't seem to automatically compensate, you know, for the temperature of the case. So right here, I'm kind of, you know, getting up close with the case. You see the water cooler lines, the CPU cooler. If you look where it says Gigabyte on the motherboard, right here above the graphics card, right here, it does have space for an NVMe drive. So that's really cool. You can see my 4 sticks of RAM. The ones that say Corsair are the ones that I bought after the computer. Push-pull setup with the fans on the radiator in the back. And then up here. So this back button that I'm about to press, that is a reset button, but they actually have that tied into the LED hub, and that's how you change your lights, which is pretty cool instead of needing a remote or anything like that. You've got 2 USB 3.0 ports, a headphone port, a microphone port, a hard drive light, a power light, and a power button. And then the front is completely plain. Here's the back side. Very good cable management right from the factory. The thing in the middle right there is the hubs for the fan, or the hub for the fan. There are some spots where you could add more. And here are the 2 hard drives. So there's a green Western Digital SSD, the 240 gig. And I have not pulled the actual hard drive out yet, but it is a 2 terabyte. I'm not sure what brand. Unfortunately, I'm gonna guess it's a 5400 RPM because it is definitely not fast. I know my Mac has a 7200 and it is noticeably faster under similar scenarios. So there's plenty of room. There's 3 more fan slots in the front, 3 on the top, and this kind of bank down here that hides your hard drives and your power supply is not removable. Although I suppose you could, you would have to do a lot of work. There's rivets and stuff like that. Pretty decent layout in the back, no complaints. The Wi-Fi antennas are in a really awkward spot, like you have to wire right around them. So that's just something to mention. Okay, one thing I almost forgot to mention was the keyboard and mouse that it comes with. So it claims to be a gaming keyboard. It is just your average everyday membrane keyboard with red buttons on W, A, S, and D, and that's it. It doesn't light up. It doesn't have the cool, you know, mechanical switches like this. It's just your typical quiet membrane keyboard. Perfectly fine for, you know, a beginner gamer or, you know, somebody who's not using it for gaming. But if you want that mechanical feel and that sound, definitely upgrade the keyboard. I am still running the stock mouse. It is, truthfully, it's an awesome mouse. I have no complaints about it. I just wish I had some more buttons on the side, but you've got your left button, your right button, your scroll button, your DPI adjustment up and down, and then you have 4 buttons located by your left thumb, as well as weights in the bottom. So no issues with the stock mouse. Definitely like it. But let's get into the specs now. So this is my keyboard. It's a SteelSeries Apex 5. I just love staring at this thing, so I figured I'd put it in the video. Like I said, the computer right now at Best Buy is $1,350, which is very, very fair. If you price out all these components individually, you could build the same computer for about the same price, or possibly save maybe $100. But getting all this stuff for me right now, I'm a very impatient person. I did not want to wait, you know, for each individual component to show up and then have to build it and stuff like that. So I was very, very happy with this build right out of the box as is. Of course, there's stuff I want to upgrade. Of course, there's stuff I want to change, but right out of the box, this thing is good to go. You're going to be able to play all your games on, full, at least the majority of your games on, the highest graphics settings. This thing is a beast. It handles everything pretty well. So specs wise, it comes with Windows 10. It's got a Ryzen 7 3700X processor, 8 cores, so like what more could you want? Comes with 16 gigs of memory. It's 2 8GB DDR4 sticks, a 2 terabyte hard drive, a 240 gigabyte solid state drive. The boot drive is the solid state, so that's where your Windows operating system is put. And this computer boots pretty quick, like probably 10 to 15 seconds, and it's from the first press of that power button, and then you're ready to go. So very happy with that. Of course, there are faster drives out there, but let's be honest, I don't even shut mine off anyways. I just put it in sleep mode, and it's ready to go whenever I'm ready. It's got the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 Super graphics card with 8 gigabytes of video memory. Again, no complaints with this card. Like I play Grand Theft Auto 5, I mod it, I play Warzone, I play just the regular Modern Warfare Team Deathmatch, Fortnite, Forza 4, all kinds of stuff, and every setting is on high or ultra, basically as high as I can put it within the game itself is what it's on. It's got the G-Sync with the card. Obviously, you can connect multiple displays. I believe it has 4 ports on the graphics card, 2 or 3 display ports, and 1 HDMI, I believe. It's got the built-in Wi-Fi. There is no disk drive on this, so if you're looking for something still that has a CD drive, check out my keyboard right here. It's got the screen on it, and I can put whatever I want on there. It's so cool. I love that little feature. Like when we're on Discord, I can actually have the screen displays like who's talking in the group chat and stuff instead of having to see on the screen, my monitor. It's pretty cool. But this computer does not have a CD or DVD drive. Like I said, it's just essentially bare bones. I mean, I don't even want to say that because I don't know anybody who even uses CDs or DVDs anymore. Everything can be done via USB, and download it onto a thumb drive and stuff like that. So my experience with it, let me talk about that now. Right out of the box, like I said, amazing rig. I love it. 0 complaints. If you want a computer that's gonna handle just about everything you throw at it, this is the perfect mix of the beautiful form, amazing function, as well as a good solid price tag. And I know $1,300 is expensive, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it like it's cheap, but for that price to be able to do what this thing can do, I am impressed, because I've built my own computers before and spent way more and got less power. So, I've been on both sides. So obviously right here, if you can see, I'm gonna just show you guys playing some games. I chopped the clips up a little bit just because I'm terrible at Warzone. I run around for a while, don't find any people, or I just get my butt kicked. But everything is so smooth. There are like little to no glitches, like an entire night of playing games. It might, kind of have a second or two the entire night where it, might skip or something. And I blame that on the lag because I am playing on Wi-Fi. And I am like on the complete opposite side of the house and the router's upstairs. So just wanted to mention that. I play some Warzone on here, and then after this I show some Fortnite, and after that some Forza, just to kind of give you guys like a view, like so you guys can see an example of playing the game, I guess. And then right here, this is the monitor making it look like that, just the angle of the camera and stuff like that, and the weird lighting. It doesn't actually look washed out like that. Not that would be the computer's fault, that would be the monitor, but that was actually from the camera. So anyways though, so right off the bat, like I said, I went with 16 additional gigabytes of RAM. No rhyme or reason. I just felt like 16 is kind of like the bare minimum for today's standard. My iMac came with 8, and I recently just threw an additional 32 in that to have 40 because I do a lot of video editing on there. And it was like a night and day difference. So I figured with all the games and stuff like that I'll be running, you know, having Discord and stuff like that going on in the background, more RAM definitely couldn't hurt. And it was like a $70 upgrade. Super simple, super cheap. Storage wise, that is my number 2 concern. So the SSD you get in this thing is a Western Digital, which is nice. You know, it's a solid name brand, but it is the cheapest Western Digital line. It's the Green Series. Basically good for your operating system, program files, stuff like that, but really nothing else. You know, like I was running Warzone on it for a while, and I had no issues, but you know, once I downloaded the whole Modern Warfare game, I had to move it over to the hard drive. The hard drive, I believe, is the weak point in this system. It is so slow. It's like 5,400 RPMs, and I left a lot of the loading screens in, I believe, Fortnite right here, just to kind of show you that some stuff, and this is on the hard drive, of course, some stuff just loads really slow. And you know, if you have to like transfer or copy and paste any like large files, you're hitting like 20 to 25 megabytes a second maximum, which is, you know, sad in today's age. I have actually, as I'm making this video right now, I have quite a few parts coming for this computer. I'll talk about those too. But aside from that, I would also check your fan orientation. I believe that every fan in here, all 4 of these fans, there are 2 taken up just by the radiator. They're doing a push-pull setup, which I think is a little bit overkill. So I would move one of those fans maybe to the top or something, but there needs to be intake fans and exhaust fans, and both of the unused fans, I say unused like, you know, not being used by the radiator, are exhaust fans. So you've essentially got one pulling in from the radiator, which is going to be hot air because it's cooling down that CPU, and that's it. You got the other 2 that are just blown out. The graphics card has 2 on the bottom side. It gets pretty hot in there, you know, like if you put your hand or your foot by it, you can definitely feel the heat. So like I said, I ordered a new set of 5 fans. Probably going to leave these ones in there, but put them in a spot that's hidden so you can't see them, or just leave the lights off, and then have the 5 new ones on display, you know, where you can see all the cool RGB stuff. And I'm hoping to have them controlled by the motherboard, but we'll see how they connect when I get them. And I also ordered an NVMe drive to completely replace both my SSD and my hard drive. I ordered a 2 terabyte NVMe on Amazon for $280. Like, that's a steal compared to some of these prices. It has awesome reviews. Almost every single review is a 5-star saying how awesome it is. You can buy one that's a little bit slower for $240, but that one was out of stock. Otherwise, I would have got that. And when I say slower, it's still light years ahead of your SSD speed. So it would still be a drastic improvement. Like, we're talking gigabytes a second versus less than 100 megabytes a second. So it's going to be night and day speed wise. I ordered a heatsink for it. So this thing should be a boss here coming in a couple days. That stuff should be here, and I will definitely have another video installing that and talking about it. I wanted the 2 terabyte to just, I love having 2 drives, don't get me wrong, but I love the convenience of everything being on 1 drive. So with a few games I play, look at me getting my butt kicked here in Fortnite. I'm terrible at this game, I never play it. But with a few games I play, it's not going to be any issue with, you know, the 2 terabytes of space. The operating system and all my programs and stuff, that's, you know, less than 100 gigabytes right there. So definitely going to be a huge upgrade, and having 1 drive is going to be so nice. Definitely, they do get hot though, so if you are swapping or adding one of those, I do recommend adding fans, or at least bare minimum adding a heatsink onto it, because they do not come with heat sinks usually. But other than that, you guys, I love this computer right out of the box. If you don't plan on upgrading anything, you are going to have no issues playing 99% of today's games. I have not done any game on this computer and had any issues yet. Like I said, Forza, Fortnite, let's see, Just Cause 4, Unreal Tournament, Quake Champions, Grand Theft Auto 5 with and without mods, Modern Warfare, you know, like I said, like all the major games right now, and no issue. PUBG, all the stuff works great. Of course, PUBG has its own problems. It's still pretty buggy, but that's not hardware related. That's the software. But let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video, or you know, if I helped you make up your mind, or you know, which route you went. If you bought this computer, let me know if you upgraded it, how you like it. And yeah, guys, hope you have a good one, and enjoy.